All right, so for our first equation in our bell work, everybody have out your yellow packet. Find these two graphs. The slope for this first one is -1. The y-intercept is -4. Sorry, +4. So the slope is -1. The y-intercept is 4. You're going to put a point at the 4. Then you're going down 1 to the right 1, down 1 to the right 1. Use your ID, Kroger card, debit card, and I do have some rulers that you can borrow. Draw a straight line. It needs to be super straight. And then for your second equation, you have a slope of 4. Your y-intercept is -1. So you're going to put a point at -1. And then from that point, you're going to go up 4 to the right 1, and then draw your line. And then where the two lines intersect, that is your solution. So where you see I put that blue dot, let me go ahead and zoom in. That is your solution. So go ahead and write that ordered pair. So where did I put that blue point? What does x equal for that blue dot? X is 1, y is 3. Okay, any questions about how we work through that? Go ahead, take out your notes. And in your note packet, I believe on page 24. So we're going to go to the back, 21. So we're going to go to the back of our notes and then come back and do the middle part. So go to page 21 in your notes. All right, so let's review how to graph an inequality that is one variable, a one variable inequality. So when you're graphing one variable, x is less than or equal to 4. For this first one, going to the very top, what kind of a circle would I use? Would I use an open or a closed circle? Closed circle. And would I draw an arrow to the left or to the right? Left. Let's go ahead and graph that. Put a closed circle on the +4. Draw an arrow to the left. For the second one, because that's not equal to, we're going to use an open circle. And because it's greater than, we go to the right. open circle and it goes to the right. But what if it is an equation, not a point? How would you graph it if it's an inequality? So first of all, you need to know what kind of boundary line to draw. It's either solid or dashed. So if you have one of these two, you're going to use a dashed line. Go ahead and write dashed. Some people say dotted. But if it is equal, then that line is solid. And the reason why I had you get some colored pencils is because we have to do some shading. So we shade above when it is greater than or greater than and equal to. That's when we shade above. And we shade below when it's less than or less than and equal to. So greater than, if it's greater, we shade above. And if it's less, we shade below. And when we graph our inequalities, they have to be in slope-intercept form. Slope-intercept form, which is y equals mx plus b. So we're going to do some graphing today, and then you should have time to finish all of homework 6, and you can show me homework 4 and 6. We're going to do 5 last, so we're doing them out of order. So we're doing 4, 6, and then 5. So before we start graphing a system, let's just practice graphing an inequality. All right, so let's go ahead and start graphing. So for this first one, what kind of a line am I going to graph? Is it solid or dashed? Dash. So I like to write that out. It's a dash line. Where am I going to shade? Am I going to shade above or below? Above, because it's greater than. Your slope is positive 2/3. Your y-intercept is -4. So let's go ahead and do that. Put a point at -4. And then you're going to go up 2 to the right 3, put a point. Up 2 to the right 3, put a point. Make sure, though, because it's dashed, that you lift your pencil when you're graphing it. It's not a solid line. It's a dashed line. And then lastly, we need to shade. So pick up one of your colors and you're going to shade the entire area above. All of this gets shaded. And that is your graph. So for inequality, we have to do some shading. Now the solution for inequality would be any point in this green or colored area. All right, so let's look at it number 2. What kind of boundary line am I going to have? Solid or dashed?
Solid.
Solid. Am I going to shade above or below? Below, because it's a less than. The slope is -3/4, and your y-intercept is 2. Go ahead, put a point at 2. And now you're going to go down 3 to the right 4, put a point. Down 3, put a point, and now you need a solid line. And now you're shading below. So shade the entire area below. And that is your graph. That's it. All right, any questions about how we did that? So now we're gonna graph a system. So let's go to the next page. And we're gonna start working through some of these questions together. What I wanna make sure you understand though is when we have a system, so in this example that was already graphed for us, we had a solid line and we had a dashed line. But what I want to make sure you understand is that the solution, and yours is not in black and white, I mean it's not in color, but the solution would be where this graph is green. And when you do your graphing, that's why I asked you to get two different colors. The solution is going to be the area that has two colors. So it should be page 22. It's not page 22? All right, so we're going to do a couple of these graphs together, and then you'll have the rest of the period to work on your homework. All right, so let's go ahead and get started. Let's do our first one. So this first one, I like to write everything I know about it. I know that this has a dashed line. I know I'm going to shade below. My slope is -3. My y-intercept is +5. Go ahead and graph it. Put a point at +5. Go down 3 to the right 1. Down 3 to the right 1. Draw a dashed line. Using your ruler or some kind of straight edge. And shade below. For our next equation or inequality, what kind of boundary line am I going to use? Is it solid or dashed for the second one? Raise your hand if you say solid. It is solid. Show me with your thumb. Do you shade above or below? Up or down? Which way do I shade? Above. Good. The slope is 2. And the y-intercept is -6. Let's go ahead and graph it. Slope is, so -6, go up 2 to the right 1. All right, now I'm going to draw a solid line. And I like to use the pink and blue because it kind of looks purple. So that's why I always use pink and blue. So when I shade above, the area where my solution would be is the area that is purple. So whatever two colors you're using, the solution, you know, for an equation is 1 point. It's the point where they cross each other. But for inequality, It's anything that's over in this area. It has to be pink and blue though. It has to be purple. Or whatever two colors that you're using, it has to be both. So you should be shading all of this green. It's gonna overlap. So there should be an area of your graph that's two colors. So you're gonna shade all of this green. All of that is green. Some of yours is hard to see because the colors are so close together. All right, let's go ahead and do our next one. Let's look at question. Let's look at question 2. Let's look at this one. Let's go ahead and graph this one together. So this first one has a solid line. We're going to shade above. The slope is 2, and the y-intercept is -5. Go ahead and graph it. So you're going to put your point at -5, go up 2 to the right 1, up 2 to the right 1, and then connect it with, you got to pick up your, nope, this is solid. It's a solid line. And then I want you to color this entire area. Pick one of your colors. So I'll probably tell you on the test day to pick colors that are not close together. Like I wouldn't do blue and purple. Like pick two colors that are kind of opposite so I can see the two distinct different colors. Like I wouldn't use red and orange. And you don't have to color really heavy. Because like this one you should color, it's going to be, it doesn't have to be that heavy. It should be really light. Just light. Color light so that you can see two colors. Because if I can't see, I should really see three colors. I should have one color, the second color, and then the color that's mixed. So it's a really light shading. Don't press hard. Should be really light. All right, I need some space. So now we're going to do the second one. The second one, though, we have to do some work. So off to the side, we need to rewrite this inequality because we have to solve this. So how would I solve this for y? What would be my first step? Subtract the 2x. And then I'm dividing everything by -3. And when you divide an inequality by a negative, what do you have to do with the sign? Flip it. So this is going to be dashed below. The slope is 2/3. And the y-intercept is -4. Let's go ahead and graph it. So what I mean, a lot of you all are just shading, like, for example, some of you all are just shading like this part. That would be wrong. Like, I'm not giving you full credit for that. You're going to have to shade this area. You see how I'm shading? That little bitty piece is shaded 2 colors. I should see 3 different colors on your graph. I should see this color. Whatever you pick first, I should see another color, and then I should see an area that has both colors. So make sure that's why you don't have to shade that heavy. Just lightly shade. Do not go super dark, because it'll be hard to shade 2 areas. So we're only going to do one more and then we'll end for today. Our last one is this first one here. Let's go ahead and let's just do this one. We're not doing that. We don't have time. So I want you to take that first one. I want you to graph it. This last one. Go to the next page and let's finish out with this one. So this is going to have what kind of boundary line? Who says solid? Who says dashed? This is dashed. You're going to shade below. Your slope is +3/4. And your y-intercept is -3. Go ahead and graph that. So you're going to put a point at -3, and then you go up 3 to the right 4, up 3 to the right 4. Draw a dashed line. You got to pick up your pencil and shade below. Thank you. So for the second one, you need to solve this for y. Go ahead and take a minute. Solve that second one for y. So you're going to subtract the x and then divide by a +2, not a -2, because this one was positive. So subtract x from both sides. So we have to subtract the x. So that would be 2y is less than or equal to -x minus 2. Let me go ahead and pull that over a little bit. 2y is less than or equal to -x minus 2. Divide everything by 2. So y is less than or equal to -1/2 x minus 1. So we're going to have a solid line. You're going to shade below. The slope is -1/2, and the y-intercept is -1. Go ahead and graph that. -1, go down 1, right 2, down 1, right 2. We're going to have a solid line. And then I want you to shade below. See how I'm shading everything below? A lot of you are just shading right there. And why is that wrong? I'm taking off a point. Because you have to shade everything below the blue line is shaded. Even this little piece right here. And that would be your solution. All right, use this time to finish out homework 6. Did everybody pick up homework 6? It's only 4 graphs. Get it done. Show it to me before you leave. Maybe you'll get extra credit. I don't know. So let's get it done. Homework 6. Homework 6 is over.